Let's go into the emotional section. Emotional often has negative connotations. Oh, she is so emotional, right? It's like, ugh, she's so emotional. But what does emotional really mean? It's a natural instinctive state of mind, deriving from one's circumstances, mood, or relationships with others. Powerful, tender, loving, sensitive, instinctive, intuitive. There's the gut again, gut feeling. Well, these are nice things, aren't they? Don't we all want to feel those things? Our mood and our perspective and our intuition, which was part of the definition of emotional, are all important for our happiness and emotional comfort in the world. Also authenticity. You know what I mean by that? That means you do what you say. That means if you say, yeah, I want to do that, let's do that, let's plan it. You plan it and you do it. It doesn't mean you're just talking just for talking. It means you're planning it and you're saying you're going to do it and you're authentic. What you say and you behave, what your words are. Now, it gets very confusing sometimes, especially in some kinds of relationships where someone says, gee, I really love you, but they're manipulative and they're battering you. It's very confusing. That's inauthenticity. They're saying, I love you, but they're not behaving like they love you. So authenticity is really an important part of the emotional component of our happiness. The emotional rabbit hole, we've all been there, right? You start going down, deep, deep, deep. You know you're going down. You don't want to go down. But you can feel yourself getting deeper and deeper and deeper. Doesn't feel very good. This is not my desktop. Honest. But this is a very crowded desktop. Now, you've all used computers. How does your computer work when you have a desktop like that? Not well, right? It shuts down. It freezes. You get angry. The applications don't work. It's slow. Okay? Our minds are the same way. What happens when you have too many windows open? Too many windows open in that last slide. Look at this guy. He's got so much going on. That happens with our emotional selves. We've got so much going on that we can't think straight, and we're out of balance. Balance is a key for emotional well-being. So how do you get balance? I know what it feels like to be out of balance. I've been meditating a long time. I can feel it. I kind of have to stop everything and restart the computer, even if it's just for a couple minutes, and do breathing, just like we did when we came in here and I had us all do that, just to kind of stop everything that happened earlier in the day and just kind of get present here. So meditating is great. Deep breathing is great. Hypnosis and guided imagery are great. Walking meditation, walking outside. I'm not talking about walking with your neighbor and talking about the dogs that you're both walking with. I'm talking about walking in a conscious way, looking at the leaves, looking at the plants, listening to the birds, being fully present when you walk. And being outside in nature. And if you can't be outside in nature, get to a window and look at a tree or look at a plant on your desk. Something that is alive will connect you and help you restart your computer. What would happen if you never took the trash out in your house? This isn't my house either, I swear. It would be so cluttered and there would be so much garbage in there. There's no place to walk in this house. There's no place to move around in this house. Our brains get like that when we have so much going on. There's no space for us to come up with solutions. There's no space for us to come up with creative ideas on how to solve problems. There's just junk everywhere in our brains, junk everywhere in our brains. Hypnosis helps take out the trash. That's why I love it. It helps dump the garbage and the overwhelming emotions, so you have more space and things feel more manageable, and it feels wonderful to do hypnosis. Well, I have a background in the entertainment business. So I was on staff at a hypnosis training facility several years ago. I was on the faculty, and people would call me and say, hey, we're doing this big conference, and we're having all the people coming in from different parts of the country. I want you to come and do a hypnosis show and, make them do funny things and everybody will laugh. I said, I'm not doing that. That's not right. Hypnosis is a healing modality. I'm not going to put people on stage and make them make fools out of themselves so everybody in the audience can laugh at that and think it's funny. That's not funny. It gives hypnosis a bad name. So hypnosis can be done individually. In my office, I've done it with one person. I've done it with couples. I've done it with a whole family in my office. I've done it with a whole room full of people. So you can use hypnosis any way. By the way, some people don't know what hypnosis does, and they think it's, oh, it's a truth serum. They're going to say something they don't want to say, or they're going to release some information, or they're going to go back to some abuse and they don't want to go back there, or whatever it is. The kind of hypnosis that I do is they're aware of what's going on, and they can either choose to pay attention or not pay attention, but they can stop at any time, and it's very, very healing. And in groups, sometimes people feel more safe when they're doing hypnosis in a group, because they're not so concerned they're going to blurt out something that's going to be revealing. So it can be very, very enjoyable and helpful in groups. Okay, diagnosis, advanced stage cancer. Yep, that's what I had, advanced stage cancer. I got that diagnosis, and it freaked me out big time, because I had a fast-growing cancer. I got a clean bill of health from my doctor in mid-January, and by the 1st of April of that year, I was fighting for my life. I had been meditating for years. I had been eating organically for years. I didn't drink. I didn't smoke. What happened? How did I get an advanced stage cancer? Well, maybe that town that I showed you way at the beginning had something to do with it. I think it did. But anyway, this is a great book, Radical Remission. According to Dr. Kelly A. Turner, when the survival rates are below a certain percentage and the person survives the cancer, whether they had surgeries, radiation, or chemotherapy, it's considered a radical remission. According to her definition, I had a radical remission. I had surgeries, I had chemo, but I beat the odds. Even now, I'll see a doctor and they'll say, wow, I can't believe you're still here. I'm well, it's over. But it was several years ago, and it was a pretty intense challenge. I couldn't get radiation because it had spread. So radiation is when it's in one place. I couldn't get the radiation because it had spread. I had to have chemo, and that scared the living daylights out of me. Here I was, this holistic meditator, right? And they told me I needed chemo. That was against my whole belief system. I wanted to escape, run to Mexico, do a bunch of herbs, and get cured. But I was told that was a very risky thing for me to be doing. I was terrified of chemo. It was very, very scary to me. I had the doctor saying, look, if you don't get the chemo, you're going to die. You have a fast-growing cancer. It's advanced. Then I had my holistic friends saying, well, if you get the chemo, you're going to die because it's going to kill you. I didn't know what to do. I was in a quandary. I'm a mom. My youngest son was graduating from high school that year. I wanted to be there. I wanted to be alive for my children. So what did I do? I meditated. Then I meditated again. Then I meditated again. I prayed. Then I prayed again. Then I prayed again. I kept praying and I kept meditating, and I got the answer. And the answer was, do everything allopathic medicine has to offer, and do everything that you know how to do, Elena, from your holistic orientation and background. And take the blinders off and keep your eyes and ears open to people who may come across your path that can give you information or be angels in your road to recovery. So that's what I did. Surgery, check. Chemo, check. More surgery, check. More surgery after that, check. That's what I did. Through meditation and hypnosis, I actually made, at that time it was cassettes, I made hypnosis cassettes for myself, and I listened to them for hours every day. I reprogrammed my mind about chemo. I actually looked forward to getting chemo, which sounds insane, but I was like, yay, it's Friday, UCLA chemo day, cool. It's like, I could hardly believe I was saying those things, but I was looking forward to the chemo because I had reprogrammed myself about the chemo to such a degree that I wasn't afraid of it anymore. I'd go in there and the nurses would be wearing the gloves and not touching anything, and they'd say, oh, we can't touch this, it's so toxic, and we can't throw the tubes away, be very careful where they put the tubes. And I'm thinking, this is going in my veins and you can't touch it? That's pretty heavy. But I reprogrammed myself. And because of that reprogramming, Through the meditation and the hypnosis, I was able to change my emotions about it. The terror and fear were gone. They were replaced by calm and trust, and I healed, and here I am. So there are two parts of the nervous system, and this is really important, especially for you, those of you in the back who might be on your phones. This is really an important part. The nervous system has two sides, sympathetic and parasympathetic. The sympathetic side is rushing, cramming, busy, sending texts. I got to go here, I got to go there, pedal to the metal, I got to take care of this, I got to return that phone call. Always on the phone, social media, this and that. The parasympathetic is the relaxed, calm, trusting, releasing, healing side of the nervous system. Most of us are sympathetic dominant. Our bodies, minds, and emotions can't heal unless we're in balance. And since most of us are sympathetic dominant, we have to use more parasympathetic activity. Parasympathetic activity is very relaxing, and it's the only place your body can heal. If you are in sympathetic dominant mode, your body cannot heal. It can only heal if you're in parasympathetic mode. And I show people in my office how to get into a parasympathetic position within a few seconds, and they're in that position, and I say, okay, now just stay in that position for a few moments. I'm going to time you. And they'll open their eyes when we're done. They'll say, how long was that, 5 minutes? I go, no, 30 seconds. Because your brain doesn't know time. So you can spend just a few minutes doing something, and your brain will think you've done it for an hour if you program yourself appropriately. Our bodies, minds, and emotions heal only in parasympathetic mode. Now, when you're in parasympathetic mode and you're more in balance, you don't need to self-medicate with drugs or alcohol or food or behaviors because you feel good already. You're relaxed, you're calm, you're comfortable. You don't need to self-medicate in any way. You're feeling great. You are more in balance with parasympathetic mode.